What's going on? It's your boy Sermon at Sermon's Domain on Twitter. Memories, for better or for worse, don't die. This is the title of Tory Lanez's sophomore album, Memories Don't Die. There's a lot that can be said about memories. I feel like they shape our lives, both past, present, and future. You know, we look back on memories for reassurance that we've lived good lives and had these wonderful moments. Some memories aren't good, of course, but for the most part, we try to remember all the great memories. You know, the happy times of being with our family, our vacations, our just watching stuff or listening to music for the first time. I think memories really do help shape your future, because if you have a bad memory about something, you're going to avoid it. For instance, what is your first memory of Tory Lanez? If it's something bad or something negative, you might not be watching this right now. You probably wouldn't care about Tory Lanez at all. But you're here. Just like Tory Lanez's sophomore album, Memories Don't Die. It's weird because this album feels like it's arrived with very little buzz. As I mentioned in my track listing discussion, there hasn't been a hit single off of this. And there's definitely some potential on this album, but it just feels like the album came, very quietly. And so I don't know how that's going to affect it long term. I mean, it's not too late to have a hit, but I feel like if the label didn't put the money into it prior, it's kind of like, are they ever? First, let me highlight my two favorite songs, the first being Hate to Say. I think you'll discover a little trend with my two favorite songs. With Hate to Say, this is Tory Lanez just getting everything off of his chest. He talks about everything that's been going on in his life and in his career in the past few years. He talks about squashing the beef with Drake and how important that was for him. He calls out rappers who get mad at him for remixing their music, which I don't know off the top of my head who that's aimed at, but definitely somebody had to have gotten mad, whether publicly or behind the scenes. And then he also says that he almost fought Travis Scott, but then they realized like it's bigger than music and they could do so much better. I need a full story on that, because I'm like, wait, how do you almost fight Travis Scott and then like in the middle of it you're just like, wait, we shouldn't be doing this. We should, work together. We should team up or something like that. It was a very weird thing to just like openly say, especially because I don't recall this actually happening. I always like these long, soulful rants from rappers. This is not really a song. This is like one long verse. This is Tory just venting to the world. My other favorite song is called Pieces, featuring 50 Cent. Whoa. Tory's storytelling abilities really hit its peak on Pieces. I don't know if he'll ever be able to top this record, nor should he try. He should just continue to tell good stories. But I feel like this one right here is going to be like the greatest in Tory's career. Like, wow. I'm listening to this and really understanding what's going on. In the first verse, you have this girl who is being molested by her uncle. And then by the end of the first verse, she puts 6 in his chest. Boom, he's dead. Crazy, right? And in the second verse, it goes, it's a long one. Tory really like put the time into this story. And to make it all like rhyme, that takes talent. I don't care what anybody says about Tory Lanez. You could say he jacks all these different sounds, but you cannot say the man isn't talented when he's able to construct something like this. With the second verse, you have a mom reconnecting with her son, like randomly, and he doesn't believe it until she starts saying, well, you have a scar above your scrotum. It's like, okay, you're my mom, cool. So they have this like conversation, and it's very intense because the mom talks about what happened to his father, and it turns out that his father was that girl's uncle, so they're cousins, and it's like, wow. When you all connect the dots, you're like, Jesus, this is intense, this is crazy. But the craziest part of verse 2 comes towards the end when he starts blaming like all of this on why he's had such a messed up life. And then he ends up shooting his mom, which is like a bizarre twist. And then he basically says, I'd do better in heaven. And then he commits suicide. With such a heavy story, when I first listened to it, I was like, okay, does 50 Cent even really fit in? He has a little part in the beginning, and then he does a third verse. And I think he does. He kind of like recaps what was told to him. And he kind of echoes the sentiment that I keep saying. It's like, it's crazy, like, but obviously in a more rapper way. So I like his verse. I appreciate what it brings in terms of kind of wrapping up this story. Because you could have ended it with that second verse and had it that way, and it would have been like crazy. And then going to the next record, you would have been like thinking about it. You wouldn't even focus on the next record. But 50 Cent is kind of like that cool down period. So Pieces, wow, amazing record. Now it's time for my least favorite song, starting with For Me. Get lit, I do that for me. I smoke, I drink, I do that for me. Turn up, I do that for me. Look, I'm just, my skin is crawling just trying to repeat this hook. It's a very bad concept, one of the worst on the album, and maybe in Tory Lanez career. Like, it's just one of those bland records that you just don't expect an artist like Tory to make. Because it's so generic, like anybody can make that record, and it would be bad. There's nobody on earth that could save that kind of a concept. My other least favorite is called Dance For Me, and it features Nav. Is it bad that I put this record on my least favorite list before I even heard it? I don't like Nav at all. I cannot stand this guy. And every time I hear a verse from him, unfortunately, he proves my point. How does this guy still have a career? I'm serious. It's like Nav is a cloned version of a generic rapper. Like, that is what he is. It's like they tried to create a rapper that would sound good in this day and age, in this generation, and appeal to the people, but it's so generic, it's so bad, it has no identity. He says, I know some bitches that stay ready for that action. I'm a boss that pay you double what you asking. What is that? How does Nav have a career? And so my issues with Dance For Me are all about Nav. If it was just Tory Lanez on the song, I probably wouldn't even be acknowledging it. Because it's not a bad record. It's not a good record. It's just kind of like somewhere in the middle. If I never heard this song again, I would not miss it. The problem with Tory Lanez is that he's very talented, but a lot of Memories Don't Die is just there. It's music that is just like in the background. Now when he goes above and beyond to impress you and really nail it, like he really does what he needs to be doing. He shows you his potential in records like Pieces, Hate to Love, Old Friends, New Foes. I think the thing that holds him back is that his R&B side doesn't really have its own unique identity. It seems like every time that I hear him do R&B songs now, I'm not too impressed. Back in the day, Sincerely Tory, the Chick tapes, like, that was good because it showed that Tory was doing something different than everybody else. But now it's like he just kind of fits in with, like, Drake, The Weeknd, Party Next Door, like the different type of people that make that similar kind of music. I think Tory could benefit a lot if he were to sit down and start carving out something new for his next project in terms of R&B. Because I think he can rap, and he proves that on Memories Don't Die, but it's like I'm looking back after listening to the album several times and what R&B songs really stuck with me. I can't name any. So those are my thoughts on Tory Lanez's sophomore album, Memories Don't Die. After you listen to this album, let me know what you think about it in the comment section below. Do you agree with me in terms of Tory's R&B? Does it need to be more original and unique and have its own identity, or are you fine with it? Are you enjoying it? Talk to me in the comment section below, and then like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're not already, share the video. Follow me on Twitter at SirMenzDomain, and as always, thank you for your time. I appreciate you for watching, and until next time, peace.